That's fine. How are you guys doing today? This is Darius, one half of the Why Did I Incarnate podcast. And who are you, buddy? What is your name? I don't know any people.
Thaddeus Sims? Thaddeus?
So dramatic. Can't be bothered. So today, I'm sorry. Let's mute that in the background. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, we are. Yeah, we're a little late today. We usually start at 5 p.m. exactly. Whatever. You're gonna watch it when you watch it. So
No, this is why we late. It's because my AC wanted to play games. So that's why we late. It's not us. It's the AC.
so it's his fault basically. I was ready on time, ahead of time. I was ready at 2 p.m. Just saying, but
It was the AC. So it's neither of our faults.
so when I have the mic, I'm speaking. You're.
But I need to let them know, though. I need to let them
When
know.
you hear the mic, you can let them know.
But I need to let them know.
Yeah. Okay.
But
So the
if I
mic check.
hold
Mic is
you,
on.
then I have
No.
too, no?
No, you have access to me, which is a great thing for you. So yeah, this podcast, what we usually do, if you don't know, if this is your first time tuning in, subscribe, of course. But what we usually do is we have a conversation moments before the podcast goes up to discuss what the podcast will be discussing. And today we kind of found ourselves at arms in a way, like, oh, what are we discussing? Because we kind of thought we were going through two different things. I'm going through just being at peace with the darkness and removing the negative connotations, the negative connotations I have of the darkness. I'm getting rid of those, and I'm just being more aware of how my mind and how I perceive life and how I create my reality is my power. So if I think of darkness as evil and bad, it will be that. But when I mean I've been working with darkness, I've been like filling my body up with that energy and seeing what happens. Am I afraid of something I'm creating myself? Why am I afraid? What am I afraid of? What is there to be afraid of? So that's what I've been going through. But he's been going through. Would you like to briefly discuss? I'm still like introducing.
Yeah. Me, I've been going through more like just changes in my inner world and just how I've been processing and going through stuff. So it's mostly have been, again, internal stuff, and I will go into details later. But that's kind of my stuff.
Yeah, but the thing is, we're thinking, oh, these two things are very different in a way, but at the end, the result is the same. We're desiring the same goal. Both of our goals result in us being more authentically us, essentially shedding those layers. There's a lot of that occurring right now. There's a lot of shedding of layers, a lot of sides of us and parts of us that no longer belongs to us is we're getting rid of. And a good friend of mine is also going through the same process. He might be in the group chat. He sometimes comes in. His name's Jason. He and I have been going through the same kind of things, just as well as that is just all getting rid of what we perceive to be ourselves or what was ourselves in the past. Because who we are today and who we were yesterday are two different people. If you're on your shit, if you're evolving like you should be, the person you are today and who you were yesterday are two different people because you've learned so much in that 24-hour period. There's so much to have been gained and to have applied in that one day, truly. You know, and so I've just been having conversations with my friends and discussing how, for me in particular, how darkness and how negativity isn't real. It doesn't exist. Why not? Why doesn't it exist? Because it is what you perceive it to be. Jason, let me see if I can phrase this correctly, but Jason described it as you are all living in a very specific perspective of your belief system. But the second you have that outer body broader perspective of living in that system, you now know, oh, I can go out of that system and create from this space as opposed to creating from this system, because you're creating within this narrow system of perhaps religion or perhaps different ideologies you were raised with. Those can be removed immediately. Goddess Mimi Love says, hi guys, how are you, Miss Mimi?
Hello.
Is that her actual name, Mimi? You don't know? Okay. Hey Mimi, whatever. But yeah, you guys, so it's really a matter of understanding. I feel like we discuss this frequently. It's a matter of just understanding the world you're creating and the world you want to create. For me, I want to live in a world where darkness doesn't exist. But yet I had so much darkness in my heart space. I would kind of see like shadow men, if you will, or shadow people in the past. And it didn't dawn on me until recently that I'm kind of afraid of darkness. I've always purged my body with white light. What am I purging of? What am I purging from? What am I removing? I put it there, so why am I getting rid of it? Why did I put it there? What has been put there in the first place? What has been put there and why is it there? Oh, it's darkness as I put there, but why is darkness a negative thing? Why is it bad? Why does it make me feel angry or make me feel resentment towards something that has happened in the past? Why is it doing this? Because I gave it the power to do it. Truly. So what I've been doing is when I get an idea like this, I go very in depth, and I kind of just try to tackle the issue head on. And so, okay, I'm afraid of darkness. I know how to remove the negative connotation of darkness. Just imagine my body's full of black energy. Will I be afraid as a result of that? How will I interact with that? Will I just, oh, this feels fine? Will all the darkness that was in my heart go away as a result of coping with the darkness that I created? Now knowing that darkness isn't evil or negative, it's what I've created in the past. Sorry, you guys have some comments I want to read. Brown Brujita, hi Darius and Thaddeus, glad to join live. Awesome to have you here. Goddess made me love. I'm watching 3 minutes behind your live feed, by the way. Interesting. What does that mean? Maybe she's seeing like 3 minutes, like something I say now, she wants to 3 minutes from now. So you're in the past while being in the future. That's what she gets said, basically. But yeah. So yeah, okay, so I want to be more precise with what I mean by engulfing my body in darkness. I will, like, usually before, what I would do is, you know, white light. Woo, white light is very like sacred to everyone. When you think of white, you think of joy and golly and all these great things. When you think of green, you think of the earth and nature. When you think of black, negative connotations arise. So what I've been doing is, instead of filling my energy space, my aura space with white light, I do the exact opposite and fill it with black energy, black darkness, because it isn't the color black that's the issue. It's the perspective I have of that color that creates the power. And the second I can embrace the darkness casually without feeling like, oh God, what am I doing? I grow that much more. I've removed that big ass chunk of darkness that I perceive to be darkness and evil and bad, just like that. It's a very direct way of just evolving miraculously. I feel like within this past week, I've come tenfold. I used to have to write like 5 pages of appreciation just to be happy and just to be peaceful. I haven't touched that in a week and I feel great. You know, I'm manifesting cognizantly, presently, while being focused and grounded in the present moment. But I'm also gaining a broader sense of my moment because I'm receiving in places I didn't know I could, because in those places we're filled with darkness. You see what I'm saying? There's more light in my body. There's more light in my words and how I perceive life. There's light in the experiences I'm having with others. And I'm noticing that this light is increasing. The more I understand that darkness is nothing to be afraid of, because darkness is what we perceive it to be. How are you perceiving darkness? You know, how are you receiving darkness? What is your perspective on darkness? That's a good question. I think I want to ask you guys. What is your perception on darkness? What is what do you feel when you think of darkness? If you were to put dark energy into your body right now, how would you respond to it? What would you feel? Alive. Good. That's the perfect answer. You feel alive. How does one feel alive when they have this dark energy within their body? What can that live feeling entail? Why do you feel alive, Thaddeus?
I feel alive because when I embraced my darkness so long ago. We talked about this.
We have, yes.
So for me, it's like I go into this room where it's just like, okay, there's a bunch of mystery and stuff I do not know. It's like the garage full of stuff that you didn't know, like tools that you didn't know you could use. So when I go in there and I turn the light on or explore it, whatever, I feel alive because I learned something different that I wasn't aware of. I learned that darkness was just mystery. It was, to me, it was just like a mystery. I was like, you know, most people are kind of afraid of the unknown. So when I kind of got past being afraid of the unknown, I discovered this, like, being blunt here, I discovered that I had like this addiction to being in the dark. It's just like, oh, I love it. So I would, like you said, surround myself by it.
Why not?
And I would just discover so much. And it was just like I opened myself up to so much stuff about myself, and it allowed my light to grow even more, but it allowed me to have understanding. So every time I get into that space, I feel alive. I know I'm fit to get something out of it.
Okay. So it's the result of embracing the dark parts of you that fuels you to even go to that space of darkness. Right. So if you were to say, I recently read a comment from Brown Brujita that spoke of that there's no coincidence of white being associated with pure and the darkness being associated with evil and negativity. Knowing that, why do you think there's something to learn from going into the darkness? Yes, you just spoke about how you can learn from going into the darkness, as in the fact of, if you can get rid of this darkness, there's nothing but light there. You can then learn. But what if you get rid of it? Then what? How do you learn? How do you learn then?
How would I learn then?
Yeah, like what do you do next?
I've discovered that there's always going to be darkness in me, like there. It's just, that's who I am. Like, it's just more stuff I don't know. So I'm just going into this world where it's just like I'm just not aware of this. It's like, you know, if I'm 5 years old, you know, you can't tell me, you know, when you reach 75, I need you to take this step. And I'm like, I'm not there yet. So it's like, there's still that waiting for me when I'm at 75, just using age, whatever. So I still learn, I still grow. It's still something I don't know yet. And it's really good for me. It helps me go.
Define darkness.
Mystery. That's
mystery.
that's
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Mystery. So you said that with time more mystery will come about. Mystery, I'm using mystery instead of darkness. The mystery will always be there. It's something that you've learned to embrace because you need to have that mystery in order for there to be growth.
Right.
Okay. So defining that as mystery, how does mystery, is it really the mystery that makes you grow, or is it the exploration of the mystery?
Exploration of the mystery, you saying? Word that up again. What do you mean by exploration?
Because the mystery by definition is just the idea of something not being solved, not something that's not finished. But in order for it to be finished, usually what you are tied into by the mystery, you're tied into the desire to finish it. Is it that desire of exploring what could be finished from the mystery that leads you instead of the mystery itself?
It's both.
It's both.
I like the mystery because it's just kind of like if I just knew it all, it's like I feel like I had to be stagnant. So I'm kind of walking. I'm like, gosh, I've sensed this. I'm aware of this, but I don't know yet. So it's just this excitement of not knowing. And then when I do like get into the mystery and I like solve it, it's just like, I feel good. So it's kind of like both. I enjoy both aspects of it. I enjoy all of it, really.
So being aware of the mystery, which we just disassociated from darkness, being aware of the mystery or darkness, you then want to explore it, but both aspects of it are appreciated. Basically, what you're saying. Okay, so I think that's great to know, because what people are doing is they're treating the contrast in the darkness and the negativity or any kind of evil in their life as a I fucked up moment. That's what it becomes, like a holy shit, I fucked up. And what I'm wanting you to do is to shift your perspective, because as you already know, because you've seen the podcast where we discussed this, there's power in perspective. There's power in understanding your perspective, because your perspective is your life you're living, you know? So I want you to pivot your perspective from thinking darkness is evil and thinking that you fucked up, but to being like, yes, there's a part of me I have yet to discover, and I can't wait to discover it. Mm-hmm. If you were to do that right now, what would change in your life? For those who are watching, ask yourself that. If you were to look at your life and focus in on the parts you deem negative or evil or bad, and you want to think of it as not a fuck up moment, but as a part of you that has yet to be explored, and there's great growth and happiness and joy in this exploration, what would change in your life if you were to undergo that process of exploration? And what would change if you were to just be appreciative of knowing that there's a chance to explore in the first place? Not even the act of exploring, but the thought of it, that should excite you just as well. Knowing now that darkness isn't negative, it's not evil, it's a part of the journey, simply because darkness and the negative connotations that come with it have been given to you. You don't own them. They don't speak to you because they aren't who you are. That's why the negativity is there. That's why there's that harsh feeling of like, when you have a heartbreak, it doesn't feel joyous, mainly because you are a being of joy. And because you have that feeling within you, it isn't authentically you, so you don't feel good. Nothing more. You will always have these moments of these negative energies, but the amount of them can be decreased greatly. I believe we discussed this last time. Jumping on a bed with a pillow and sheets as opposed to jumping on a bed without a pillow and sheets. Obviously, the first is more comfortable, but the latter will be the contrast. That's the gap you want in your life. You want to have the choice of jumping into bed with no pillows, pretty comfortable, or jumping into bed with pillows and comforters, extremely comfortable. You know, both are still comfort, but there's a bit of contrast. That is a goal. So what in your life, be honest with yourself, what in your life deserves that type of focus, that type of perspective change? Where in your life are you defining your dark moment as? For me, it was just literally like, I don't want to say like demonic energy, or like I'm a very freaky deaky kind of guy. Either I love it or I hate it. That's very much me. I'm very extreme in how I live my life and all that I enjoy. I tend to like very strong, flavorful food. I tend to enjoy those who are very charismatic and kind of are authentically themselves. I'm drawn to authenticity because I think authenticity in itself is a very extreme version of who we think we exist as. I think when you look on TV, that is a very diluted version of who you truly are. Truly. So if you're trying to be some shit you see on TV, that ain't you. It's not. Not because it's just unoriginal, but because it doesn't define the human nature as buoyant and as whimsical and as gargantuan as we truly exist as. See what I'm saying here? So I think there's extremities and authenticities. So I'm very much drawn to that. Why am I saying this? I forgot. Oh yes, demons and stuff. My darkness was being afraid of dark energy coming into my body. Dark energy as in the form of shadow people, demonic people, reptilian energies, and things of that nature. That was my version of getting rid of the darkness. So by incorporating this dark energy to my body, like literally imagining like Sasuke doing the Amaterasu. Yeah, like literally imagine that in my body and just being at peace with that feeling, that the power that comes with that, you know, because there's power behind that. If you aren't associating that darkness, that black flame with evil, what are you associating it with? If it's not evil, what is it? Good. If it's not evil, it's good. If you can do that with that type of energy, that type of negativity, where else can you apply this in your life? At work, perhaps, around friends. This person isn't bad. They aren't wrong. They're good. What would that feel like? What would change in your life? Brown Brujita says, I learned, and she's also learning to bring the two together, meaning the positive and the negative. And I agree. I was speaking to my guides earlier, and they were suggesting I do the same and seeing what I get. And for me, I'm noticing that the darkness in my body is used to remove things that did not serve me. And the white is used to like revitalize and to refresh what I want to experience more of. But if I use them together, it kind of produces an exponential kind of growth experiment, if you will, because of the pure energy that they both possess individually. They compound when they come together. She also says, yeah, mystery is a great word for darkness. Darkness to me is subconsciousness, yin, feminine energy, intuition itself. Okay, precisely, because if darkness is subconscious, it's unknown, it's what we don't know just yet. Knowing that we can know it and that it's something to know excites us, and it'll actually create a sense of optimism innately, which is like, ooh, I don't know this. I get to know, because a part of you, who you truly are, you want to learn, you want to grow, you want to experience more, you want to expand. And diving into a mystery, diving into exploration will do just that. You become so much more of who you are by being who you are. Crazy, I know, but it is truly something that needs to be spoke of. And I'm glad you guys are here with us discussing this today. Read some more comments. Shanita Love says, I feel like it's already in me, always been there. She's referring to the darkness. She feels like the darkness is already in there, always has been. I've been told I was terribly afraid of my shadow as a child. So do you feel that this darkness still holds a negative connotation? Do you feel that this darkness still plays a power in your life, plays a powerful role in your life? And know that the role that this darkness plays in your life was given the power. You gave the darkness the power to control any aspect of your life. And I think there's power in understanding that. Yeah, I'm pretty good for now. That was a pretty good rant. I'm good. You got anything to say? Anything you want to speak on your personal experience or mine?
I think I did have a question for you.
Okay.
So for you, while they're answering and stuff, for you, with what you've gathered so far, learning about, the darkness in yourself, what would you say? How are you going to utilize what you've learned so far? Like now, like what do you feel? Like it doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm going to do this, but like, what do you feel like you?
I feel like I could do anything. I feel like there's never a moment for me to feel like any kind of energy that doesn't suit me will hinder me, because I created it. So if I want to be hindered, I will be hindered because on my power, Yeah. But I feel empowered, just self-empowered. I feel more powerful. I feel my intuition increase just like that. I feel I can do and know and experience whatever I choose to do, know and experience, Yeah. And I'm feeling the energies of others as deeper than I was before. I'm feeling I'm gonna have a broader perspective of my own life. Before, I feel like I was looking from just this angle, but now I'm looking in the back as well, and to the side, and to that side as well, just because I know what everything means now in my life. When it happens, like, that's what happened. This is, oh, okay, that's that. I get that. I'm aware now. I learned from that experience.
Nice. So you definitely say you got more in tune with yourself.
Yes, more intuitive, essentially. I've given myself an attunement because of it, basically. Think of it that way.
Okay.
Shanisha Love says, I felt darkest during my exotic dancing days. Why is that? Is it something that was self-imposed? But being told that part of me was negative, I buried it about 6 years ago. So it's being told that you're negative. So you basically allowed someone else's power to trump that of your own. You weren't standing in your power, because when you stand in your power, you now know, we'll know once you stand in that power that your power is to create. The second you allow someone to harness or alter your emotions means they have the power over you. Okay, so you want to get rid of that now. I'm not a big fan of waiting. Not a big fan of waiting.
I also see, like, what gifts were in the dancing that you did, because you never know, it could be some form of expression that you may have, and you know, so see what the dancing was about. Look
Very
deeper
true.
into it.
Anything you want to discuss? I know you wanted to go over your week, basically, because that's all my focus on my week, getting going at peace with the darkness.
Okay. My stuff has been a little interesting. Shanita said now.
Yeah, because I was like, now it's the time to change that. Yeah, she said she feels that. Yes.
Okay. So me personally, my experiences, again, it was internal. What I had to come was that I had to really like step up and evolve more rapidly for myself. Like, for example, I always knew like I'm always the one who's kind of starts. I don't know. I go into places where it hasn't been explored yet that I know of. And one of the things is that I had to evolve from like I can no longer associate myself as spiritual anymore. So that has to go. And now it's more of I'm like an inner evolver, meaning that I just evolve from within. So in my evolution, I had to let go of that. I'm not gonna say a phase, not saying like, oh, that was, oh, I did that. It was more of like where I was. So now it's like I'm in a whole different game now, where it's just like I'm just evolving rapidly, and I'm just experiencing, you know, new things about myself. That's just been interesting. Like this whole experience of like evolving, I have not been really around people. I have not really been talking with people. It's just like I had to learn to not learn, but I had to have that moment where you have to go in a cave and kind of be away from people. And it was just like that with everybody. Like I would go to work, do my thing, after work, you know, phone is off or whatever, and I just had to listen. And one of the things that I always know or knew about myself is that I knew I could step it up more, but I never really did. And one of the things for me was that I really had to learn to stop doing everything by my damn self. So I worked on that, and that has progressed. And it reached a point where it's like, okay, now I have to really like, okay, you can't do stuff. Because I was in this meditation, I was doing stuff, and you know, I say my friends were trying to help me out in the meditation, but I was like, no, I got this. And then I was like, wait, sorry, no, help me out, because I'm so used to doing it by myself. So I had to go through this moment of shedding this part of myself who wants to do everything by himself and not wait on people, though that still plays a part when I need to, but I had to really like let that go. More stuff is that I really had to take my perception and the way I do my stuff, the way I work with my energy, to a whole nother level that I knew was like needed. Like my intuition was like, okay, you need to watch this. You know, this is not really need to, but I was guided to watch certain shows, and there was clues in there that was like, yeah, you needed to watch this so you can get what we're about to say. So one of the things big for me is that I had to really learn how to listen and see the universe much more. And I always knew I was able to, but I just never did it. So one of the biggest things was that I had to just like, the universe, I was talking to the universe. So I was out there, I was at the beach, and then the universe was just talking to me, and it was just like, why is it that, you know, you or like you call me the universe, but why is it that like, why can't I be you? Why can't I just be just you, a part of you? Like, why do you think I'm like here or there? Like, no, I'm you. Universe, you, that's who I am. Like, and I was like, oh, I'm like, yeah. So internally I'm like, yeah, I knew that, but it was like I wasn't acting like I knew that. So I had to like, I understood it, but I really had to like understand and overstand it as well. And it was basically just talking to me, saying like, you know, I'm everywhere, you can talk to me, like, you know, whatever. But it was like I had to reach a point where I had to like listen, really, really listen, like surpass my listening skills now. And what I discovered is that my perception had to grow. And by my perception, one of the animals that I really closely connect with, I don't have my bracelets on me, but one of the animals that I closely connect with is the wolves. And, you know, I learned a lot about the wolves, but only my sister knows this, but there's also another animal that I really connect with, and it's the hawk. And I never really spoke much on it because I never really used any of the energy of the hawk until recently. Now it's been like guiding me, and it's been very interesting. Like it's been helping me with my perception to the point where the veil that I had around myself, I had to really like drop it. Like I could see stuff, like it was kind of like I would, you know, open the blinds to look outside. I'm like, okay, yeah, I see that. We're gonna do that. And then I close the blinds. Like, all right, you know, seeing that, go back inside. But it was like, no, you kind of need to remove the whole motherfucking building and you need to like see everything. So I had to do that. And like my hawk has just been like guiding me. It's been very funny. Like I'll be at a park and then I'll see it like flying like over the intercoastal where I live, and it's like, meet me at this park, and I'm just like, I'm thinking like, okay, you know, in meditation, I'm like, no, drive your car and meet me at this park. There's something you need to see. I'm like, okay, interesting. So I've been having to learn how to see like I can, like I'm able to. So my biggest evolution, I mean, there's a hell of a lot more to it, but I'm just kind of wrapping up because we'd be here forever. But that whole evolution of stuff is just like I had to let go of where I was and step into something completely different. Like I don't really know anyone to speak, like the stuff I'm learning, I can't really say, oh yeah, this person talks about the same thing. It's just like, no, I haven't heard it before. I'm open to it, but I haven't heard it before. And, you know, other stuff is just learning how to just really transcend a lot of things, a lot of ways here. It's like the best way I can describe it is like I was in the sea or this ocean here, and like now I'm at this point where I'm out of the ocean and I'm kind of like in the sky, and I'm kind of able to see into the ocean. Like, okay, this is where I was. This is what I had to understand. This is my perception. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Then I had to learn how to, with my energy, completely allow it to come out of me instead of kind of like turning it on. Like, okay, you know, let me turn it on and use it. It's like, no, you should you should allow it, like really submit to the allowing part. And then when I was doing that, a very interesting thing is, I'm surprised, well, now you know, I'm going to tell you now. Very interesting thing was, because I'm not saying I'm a Rain Man or anything, but I was at this new park that I've just been discovering or whatever, and my energy, well, my hawk was like, okay, allow the energy to come through the water. Did it. He's like, now allow the energy to come through the trees. Did it. And then he's like, allow the energy to come through the, I think like the sky or something like that. And then I was like, okay, you know, I was practicing, and next thing you know, it started raining. But there was no rain cloud like at all, like around there. Like it was raining like only, I was on this dock, so it was only raining on this dock. It was not raining down the street. It wasn't raining anywhere else. I'm just like kind of looking up, and it was light, like, where is this coming from? And it's like, yeah, if you allow and stop focusing on, when you really allow and stop focusing on like, what's the word I'm looking for? Results, or you want it to be a certain way, when you just kind of allow your energy to do something, then something else unexpected will start happening. And it was like the rain was kind of like the significance or the symbolism of that. So it's kind of like I had to stop doing certain things to get a result. Not saying I was forcing it, but it was just like, there's a whole different way that's much easier. And so since I've just been doing that, my energy's been much easier. It is literally like the information around me is just literally, if I just extend my hand out, I can kind of see whatever, feel stuff. It's just very interesting. Thank you for saying Amaterasu. This whole energy that's been around me of like information is like my energy has developed itself where it's become automatic. Okay. Like automatic and like its own intelligence or whatever. It's kind of like, you know how Gaara's shield of sand is? Yes. It's kind of been doing that. Not like in a protecting way, but it's just like, I'll want to do something and the energy will just kind of come, and it's just like, if I think about it, whatever it is I'm doing, it'll just I'll see it, and then it goes about its way. And I'm just like, wow, that's interesting. So I'm noticing with this new development evolution that everything around me, or the energy around me, my perception of everything has just been made easier. It's kind of like not having to, oh, I need to figure out how to do this. It's like, no, okay, I think this is it. And then boom, it's like right here. So that's, wrap that up. That's kind of like the nutshell of like all my other stuff. But like you said, though, one thing is, if you're not evolving, like you said, like the next day, like mine's has been like, I'll do something and then I feel like a completely different person like 20 seconds later. Like it feels like that was a year ago and it was only 20 seconds. And I would do more stuff and I'm just like, wow, like the person who was doing this podcast is like not even the same. Honestly, I can't even really remember me.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. So that's kind of been my stuff so far. But yeah.
Okay. Well, something that stood out to me is you spoke about essentially just shedding and evolving. What are you evolving towards? There's no end goal, but what are you aiming at?
Really, I'm just working on getting back to I'm going to go with the lack of a better words, a purer state of myself. Okay. Essentially, like I had to incarnate it here. Me personally, I feel like I incarnated here to kind of, get here, see how it operates here, see how they're doing stuff, blah, blah, blah. I had to get down here, relate, understand, blah, blah, blah. And now it's like, okay, now that I got all of that, now it's like, okay, now it's time to return to the home base with the information I got and then like get geared up, basically get back to myself and actually like do now what I'm supposed to do. That's kind of like what it feels like.
And what are you supposed to be doing?
Biggest thing I've learned is like there's a lot of things that I'm supposed to there's a lot of things I am aware of that I'm going to create and kind of bring it here in a sense.
Okay.
And it's a lot of things that I see differently. Like I see certain things that's going on and I just think completely different and it doesn't faze me. And it's just like, this would be nice to have this here. So it's just like now I'm like in this creating phase, like, okay, I sense this. Now, how to make this manifest this, bring this from here to physical here for them to benefit, in a sense.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what's going on with me.
Do you think that? From what place are you going to be drawing these beneficial ideas from? Where are they be coming from?
My space.
Your space, okay. Deeper than that?
Is it deeper than that?
Yeah, what's the source of this space?
Myself, my energy, my essence, all that good little stuff. Yeah.
And how do you know that, though? How do you know that space?
I've always known it.
Well, yeah,
I can't answer for that. I intuitively know, and it's an inner understanding. It's like when you're home. Like the best way I can describe it is like when people find out their spot or their home, they just intuitively like, this is it. This is where I'm supposed to be.
So you'll know when you know, basically. Where you're
pretty much.
You'll know. And
yeah.
So how does one get to the space of knowing if they have yet to know thus far?
A lot of shedding, and there's a lot of, I call it whatever your name is. So for me, it'd be a come to Thaddeus moment, meaning that I need to come check myself, like, like going through the dark stuff, evaluating stuff, really seeing who I am, seeing where the hell I'm at, seeing what I'm doing, not saying I'm like, criticizing or judging myself. Is like, no, let me come out of myself and let me see myself for where I'm at and, go from there. So it's a lot of that process. So I would say throughout my time on the planet, that's what has gotten me there, was really sitting down with myself alone, really sitting down with myself and checking myself and, also getting that counsel, from my internal world. So source or your guides or, whatever have you, I have always had this counsel and I would go there because, obviously there's things I'm not able to see, but, they're able to see, and there's people who are close to me, so I have those moments of just checking myself. And then once, I learned more about my truth and got closer to that, I was able to kind of shed more stuff and be more aware. And then once I got to that pure state and I you kind of do that often, you notice you'll kind of get back into this one state. Once you're there, it's like there's no question, you just know. So a lot of that.
There's no question, you just know.
Right.
Okay. I think I agree with that. I'm trying to expand on that as much as I can. There's no question, you just know. What does just knowing feel like?
The best, I'm glad you said that. Yes, I can actually talk about that with great detail. It feels like you have, I'm gonna guide you through this. It's like, imagine that you've worked 9 days straight, crazy hours. You have the next 4 days off. So you already know when you get home on that last day, you fit a crash, right? When you crash and you sleep, maybe 8, 10, whatever hours, whatever it is, and you don't have anything to do, you feel refreshed, you feel no pressure, then you feel this clarity. And then before you kind of decide to do something, it's kind of like right in between that step, like in that clarity, you're in this space of just like,
Would you also describe that space as comfort?
I would say deeper than that. Deeper than comfort.
Let's go deeper than that. What is deeper than comfort?
I would say it's like it's like being super light. Like there is no weight, like lighter than a feather. Like,
how does one get to being light? In order to be light, you have to remove the weight. What is the weight there? What is the light? How does someone get you the light?
So, okay, for life stuff for them. First, there's going to be a lot of beliefs you're going to have to shed that don't serve you. You're going to have to really get in touch with your truth, whatever it is. And you're going to have to hold on to that, like, for life, and stick to that. And even when times get like, something may happen that makes you question it, that's when you really need to go into it more. And then when things become clear, like you'll go through those moments where you question it and it worked out and you're like, huh? And you have those moments where you reflect, like, every time something's happened and I felt this, my intuition or whatever, my source was always right. And you have this sense of comfort then that, okay, I can trust this, though I don't understand it, though it's kind of right now, each and every time this has worked. So once you get used to that, then you just kind of go in this space where you dive in, like you said before, you just dive into this, like your truth, your essence or whatever that space is. And you just dive into that. Okay. And once you're in there, it's just like, there's no worry. Like, you're like, okay, I know this may happen. I may think this, but it's fine. This happened before. I know it's going to work out. Oh, I'm feeling this, whatever. And then you're going to get to a space where you're just like, I'm calm. You just sit back and you just like, I'm really calm. And then once you kind of start going back there, like not leaving that, but kind of going back there to refresh yourself, going back to your source, or you're getting water, go back there to refresh yourself. You just start to feel good and you get lighter. Stuff happens. Then you reach that spot where you're saying, I see why this happened. I know why this happened. I'm feeling this. I think that. I got that. I understand it. Then things start to get really light around you. You start to really see past what you have been. Then you won't be as reactive. You start being responsive. And gradually you'll start kind of getting calmer, but then this excitement kind of grows too. And then eventually, you keep doing all of that and, you learn more stuff about yourself. You go deeper, blah, blah, blah. Then you reach that space where I was saying it's deeper than comfort. It's just, you're light. Like you're in this space where it's just like, that's what I'm describing. You're in this space where it's just like, you're not questioning it because you feel it. There's this inner deep knowing that, this is whatever there's no, it's like you're in this space, like no crazy thoughts can interfere with it. It's you feel ignited. Like there's like this inner ignition kind of like coming through you, and you're just in this space, and it keeps growing and it keeps expanding, and you can honestly stay in that space and just like chill there. And it's ridiculous, but I'm kind of getting teary-eyed thinking about it. But it's you just get there and you just know, like, you can actually sit there and have like no thought, like not even trying, like you're just there and you're just in that moment, and it's just, this is right. It goes deeper than peace. There you go. It gets to a place where you have no words, but you remember how it felt. Your feelings of it is what's valid. You can try to tell someone, but they may not get it to the deeper extent that you did, and that's fine. But your feelings validate it. Your beingness validates it. Your essence afterwards validates it. While you're in it, it's just there's no words. Words they suck compared to it. You just feel. You just know you're there. You're in it. That's there you go. There you go.
Well, what you're describing, what I was getting at, I'm glad you expand on that to that extent, because what you're describing is a space of authenticity. You just spoke of words not being able to describe how you truly feel. Well, words were created to describe how you truly feel. But if you can just be at peace with the feeling alone, the words will come, but they don't necessarily need to. And if they don't come, know that the words are extension of something that already exists within you. So it's really a space of authenticity, comfort, feeling lighter bodied. How does one become comfortable in their lighter body? By removing the weights. What are the weights? Things that do not serve you. Why don't they serve you? Because they aren't a part of you. What we're both speaking on is becoming more authentically you. Why we incarnated is why we want to become more authentically us. We want to expand more on who we truly are. And in the process of that expansion, you come in contact with things you want to create and things you want to experience by knowing your personal space and knowing your authenticity and standing in that power and standing in that authenticity, because that is who you are naturally existing as. And when you are in that space, like he said, clarity comes. It will come into to the extent you don't have to think about it. It'll just be a part of who you naturally exist as, because it already is. It already is. If you're going through anything negative right now, you're debunking. You're removing that outer energy. You're getting rid of those weights that weigh you down, and you're becoming more lighter bodied, if you will. Okay, Brown Brujita, my internet cut off as you were explaining that. I felt my energy getting excited, but because I know that the feeling I was going to tear up too. Awesome. Being in that space that he speaks of is a very powerful space to be in. It's like when you get into really good meditation space and you kind of just feel like you're very present. You aren't anywhere else but here. You feel the energy of the moment now. You in that space, like he said, cannot be really described. And the great thing about it, it can be experienced in and out of meditation. You're going into meditation to gather that feeling, but once you're out of it, you can now know that feeling it feels like, and you now know how to get it. Clarity, being calm, being lighter bodied. That's essentially what this podcast we wanted to discuss, because what we're going through might be different in route, but the destination is quite the same. Becoming more authentically you, which is why we incarnated. We incarnated to be more authentically us. That version for me is to empower. I feel we both want to empower people. It's just how we do it will be differently. Yeah, we both want for people to see who they naturally exist as. We both want people to see what they can naturally accomplish. We want them to be aware of all the great things that comes with this recognition of your accomplishments and this recognition of the ability to have these accomplishments on your path.
A lot of comments that, did we check them all or no?
I don't think we did. That's right. Okay, it's Karen Joe's birthday. Hi guys, it's my birthday. Happy birthday, Karen. Brown Burrito. No, I know we got to this. That one. I read that. I don't know if I didn't read it. Well, she was saying that yes, the hawk has been an animal guide for me this year for clear perception and higher evolution.
Nice.
And then she speaks about how what we were saying speaks to her greatly, and how she also is receiving constant Naruto references. Just think of what Naruto means to you, and that is the message you need to receive.
Naruto's on point. Well, Boruto too, but Naruto's on point. Naruto's on point.
Yes.
Yeah, happy birthday, Karen, again.
So Shanita Love says she's an anime version, but I would like to check out Naruto and Maranatsu. But okay, so Naruto's a show. Amaratsu is one of the characters in the show's weapon or abilities. And what he does is he utilizes black flame to purify anything and everything. This flame cannot be put out. It is something that it just is. And I use a reference to imply that I'm doing the same with dark energy as well, because darkness isn't just a negative connotation. It's used for purging things that don't serve us.
Also, Shanita, since you're going to start watching Naruto, just know if you're going to binge watch it, that's going to be a long binge watch.
But it's a good binge watch.
No, I know.
Awesome, yeah.
It's amazing. That's what I'm like, because it has, 500 episodes?
Probably more, because this Naruto, then it's the Shippuden.
Yeah.
which has a shit ton as well.
Yeah. So yeah, you're looking at over 500 Naruto, and then Shippuden, and then his son.
And the great thing about it, they're all worth watching. So don't feel as if you have to, like,
You're gonna love it.
Yes.
Gonna love it.
Karen Joe, I need to dedicate more alone time. I feel like that's what's delaying me from evolving more. I don't agree with that. I think it's not. I think it's the harmony of being alone and with others as well. Because I'm seeing you very vibrant with others, but I'm also seeing you wanting a very strong desire to stay home, which is fine for a few days, a day or two, to be precise. But you need to get out and about and to be social, because that is a part of who you are naturally.
Yeah, find your balance with that, like being social and then not being social. Like, kind of just use your own navigation system. I mean, me and him, I think we talked about this before. Like, I'm both social and anti-social.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. It's just about the harmony of those two experiences, knowing when to be amongst your own energy, knowing when to allow others to come into your space. And even when they're in your space, don't allow them to rule your space, because your space is indeed your space. But yeah, it's something that we all should do. We all have to do. And as a Scorpio, it might seem very fun and easy for you to just be reluctant and reclusive and to stay home and to be a hermit. But there's also that social side of you that needs to come out. The part of you that, because you're almost a Libra. October 24th is the very first few days of Scorpio, but it's Libra being an air sign and wants to communicate, wants to have conversations, wants to contemplate different ideas and see which one works best for something that they're going to decide on. Just saying. But yeah, you want to bring about both those parts of your life into your life consciously, being aware, be aware of when and when not to hang out. I'm sure you get people you want to hang out with, but you don't necessarily feel like doing it. Then don't go. Don't go. You don't have to go if you don't want to.
Yeah.
But yeah, what else you want to discuss? I feel like we should open the floor for conversation now.
Yeah, I'm down.
I'm down as well.
What y'all want to talk about?
Yes. Why am I leaning over? My back is like being weird.
Being weird.
Look, you guys, I found this on my arm right here. It's a fidget spinner. I can't do it with one hand, but
yes, you can.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Woo! Cool. Look at that. But something I want to start incorporating into my life is becoming more of a real life ninja. I feel like I've done that in the past life, and I feel like it's something that it really excites me, and it incorporates all parts of me: intuition, being focused, being present, being athletic as hell, because I love to do like workout, and I love to run and stuff and do things that require a lot of jumping exercises and plyometrics. We're great for being nimble and being great for becoming more of a ninja. That's something I'm going to start doing, just running more. But I realized that I'm not meant to run during the day. It does not work for me, and I'm becoming more at peace with running at night. I've always done it in the past, but I love running in general. But in the what we do, like last year, I was running both in the morning and at night. In the morning would fucking suck. It would be a mission every time. But at night I wouldn't want to stop. I would literally like run for 40 minutes, like fuck, I have to go in now. I have to work in the morning. I want to run for more. So what I'm going to start doing is like running more at night, because it's something I'm much more active at night anyway. I'm not a morning person at all. Never have been.
My gosh, you're coming over to the dark side.
Well, I've always been a part of it, dude. I just didn't mind, working in the morning and stuff.
He's growing and changing.
This lighting is despicable. That's
Turn
fine.
this light on.
Oh, we can do that. Yes, nigga, hurry up. What you waiting on? That's better. Let me see. That's better. That's good. They didn't ask any questions. You guys suck. You're not asking questions.
Wow.
But yeah, you guys. I mean, I feel like that's pretty much the gist of what we wanted to discuss. Yeah, but I feel like there's a lot of people shedding their shells. There's a lot of people who are removing parts of themselves that do not serve them. And it's happening in very drastic ways. I feel like this year was the year of the one. So as a result of that, you were being guided to dive into things you wanted to experience. And as a result, now you're coming into terms with things that you naturally love, and how these things you naturally love don't exactly coincide with the desires others have for you to live in your life. They want you to do certain according to them, but what you need to realize for you is that this life you're living for you. So the desires you came up with in this year are now being applied, but in order to apply them, you're having to remove things that you weren't once upon a time were experiencing in the past. And that's what this remaining of the year will be. It's getting rid of things that no longer serves you and to stepping more into the things that you discovered earlier this year. Yeah. Yeah. Because I feel like a lot of cool things are going to happen for me in the next few months. Like dating will increase, sex life, more friends, more parties and things of that nature, more social interactions. Finances are definitely increasing. I'm becoming more at peace with my desire for financial gain and what ways I can do that. I'm being more aware of mapping out just the things I want to experience more and how to create them. My intuition is enhancing further and further. I'm becoming so much more confident in my ability to succeed, intuitively speaking. So yeah, I'm just excited for things to come, and I look forward to experiencing them with you guys. I can discuss this now, but I'm pretty sure you guys know of us from the Peace Dealer, Michael. He has a YouTube channel, Mystic Illuminations. He also has the Peace Dealer. I'm not sure which ones he's using right now, but he has essentially a family of intuitives that come on his channel, YouTube channel, do videos, and also do intuitive readings on his website. I am one of the newer people in this little family. Like I literally just signed the documents today, like an hour, like a few minutes before we started this podcast. So that's exciting. I'm going to be giving intuitive readings through his brand. I'm excited for that. So you guys can not only view those videos I post on the podcast, you can also view the videos I post on his channel because they'll be of a different content. I don't really do tarot cards on this live stream, but I'll be doing them on that channel. I'll be doing more stuff with zodiac signs. I'll be giving more live readings. And because he has a great audience, like he gets thousands upon thousands of views, like within a day or two, you know, just casually. Even if people that aren't him, it's thousands of views casually without really, you know, it's just awesome. It's an awesome experience for me to go on his channel and for me to be able to do intuitive readings under his brand, but also touch a brand new audience. Because my goal, my passion is to let you know you're intuitive. Let you know how easy it is to be intuitive as fuck casually. Casually be intuitive as fuck, you know? So yes, I think Shanita Love and Brown Burrito both discovered us through the Peace Dealer.
Yeah,
I feel like the core of our audience is from that guy, which is awesome because I'm excited to be a part of that family. I feel like I'm giving back now. I feel like he gave us so much. Now I feel like I'm giving back, which is awesome. But at the same time, I'm spreading my message, which is, again, you're intuitive as fuck. If you're watching this, you're intuitive as fuck. Yes. So now I'm feeling like Matape wants to send energy to the group. Do you want to have anything to send yourself, or you want to?
I'm just experiencing.
Want to talk about anything? Want to do this?
I mean, nothing really comes to mind. I'm still seeing. Do you guys have any questions? I kind of mostly talked about stuff I'm going through. Can't think of nothing. Except one thing. It's totally random and it's totally off topic, but I know Shanita is watching this. But like Shanita sent me this YouTube video of this guy named Masago or whatever. Jazz guy. I don't know if you're like really into like really chill vibes or something that's just like, I don't know, kind of just takes you places. You got to check them out. I think it was like Tado, however you pronounce it, Tadow. Like one of the songs, amazing song. There's other song too on there that's really good. I don't know. I never heard jazz like played like that. I don't know. I think it's a different form of jazz. So if you're like into that and you're into like just kind of like chilling and just vibing out to like some good vibes, I don't know. That'd be something too. Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. I'm good. I love Masago. I just saw him live last week with Godlink.
Yeah.
Ooh,
He's what's up.
Excuse me.
He's what's up. You might like him. I don't know if you're into jazz like ish stuff.
I like vocals. I like to feel vocals. Like truly connect to what someone is expressing. Because music to me is an art of expression.
Yeah.
All art is expression, excuse me, but music is an art of vocal expression. So, and as a communicator, I look for what you're saying, how you're saying it, and how it's expressed. Yeah. And the emotions behind it. So if he can deliver that, then I'll be interested.
Yeah, I think you'd like him. I think he's a Cancer.
Okay, I like Cancers.
Yeah. I think June 8th. No?
June 8th, no. That June, July, that is Gemini. Yeah, Gemini. June, July, or not.
June 8th.
April, May, June.
Because April, May. No, yeah, you're right. You're right. Because Chris' birthday, May, and then June. So Gemini.
It's July, mainly July. The end of June, mainly July. Yeah, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a Gemini.
Hmm?
Go again.
Yeah, dude. You love Gemini, nigga.
They're cool.
Anything you want to discuss? I feel like we're good.
Yeah, I think that's about it, guys. Yeah. Hopefully you got a lot out of that. Hopefully that helped you in some way. That was just a week in our life. You know, one thing I can say though is that if nobody says it, I'm gonna say it. But I'm really proud of us. God damn it,
because we've overcome a lot.
Yeah, literally a lot of heavy stuff and a lot of like emotional internal stuff, and we're actually like willing to face it. So I'm gonna give kudos to me and you for that. And then not only that, but for you guys who are watching us, I know you guys have your own challenges that you're overcoming. So if you haven't heard it from anybody else, I want to give you your kudos, your congrats, your awesomeness. A big thank you as well for you just facing those challenges and becoming a better person, a brighter light for other people around you. Because I feel like a lot of people don't really talk about those things that, you know, like what we're going through, and actually talking about it, and actually, you know, someone giving you your points, and not your points, but just basically a congrats to it. So I definitely want to say that to you guys big time. Because I feel like, you know, when you go through moments like this, you need to just, I feel like you just need to, you know, congratulate yourself and you know, feel yourself. You need to feel yourself. Not like how you just did a moment ago, but, you know, you got to feel yourself. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. I wanted to say thank you, Darius, for willing to go through your challenges and becoming a better person.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you real much.
Like financially, appreciation isn't quite there. So money-wise, what can you do for me?
I can tell you a few really good corners around here that are really profitable, especially it's cuffing season now. You can really.
It is. That adds the excitement of what I'm going through right now. Yes.
Right.
It's sexy.
It's young, you know. I got some good spots from you on PGA. You know what I mean?
I don't think niggas would be doing no.
See, that's what I'm saying. You don't know about these spots. I'm trying to tell you these good spots, and you ain't listening.
Anyway.
Trying to help he asked financially. I'm trying to tell him about these spots around here. You know, if I ain't like you, I would have told you Broadway. You know, I would have told you, you know, somewhere else. But I'm trying to give you these good spots. That's where you sleep at. You sleep on them spots. And it's like this one spot in Jupiter. We're at that corner, boy. You can get a house less than a month.
This is why we were late. This is why he does this all the time. He talks and he comes with excuses to say live, but you know. This is why whatever, dude. We're leaving.
Oh no, I can show them the AC. I can show them the AC.
We're leaving now, you guys.
I can show them the AC though.
Tuesday,
oh, so that's like that. It's like I feel like a Keenan and Kel moment right there. Remember how they like ended and he was like talking?
Yeah, you're the Kel. I'm the Keenan. I'm the one with the brains. You just have.
I don't even like soda like that. So why you trying me? I don't even drink soda.
That's because Andy was on drugs for quite some time.
Damn, you ain't have to do that. You ain't have to do.
Keenan is SNL making his bread.
You ain't have
so. There you are.
You ain't have to do that.
Just you know,
you ain't have to do that.
Darius and Tiago. I mean, not.
Oh. Yeah, we should be leaving now because somebody is messing up. So
Darius and Thaddeaus.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Oh wait, what did it say?
I keep losing connection. No, watch out! You're gonna lose it for good now. We got to go off.
Somebody said something.
How do you guys feel about the word bless?
I like the word. I use it.
Mainly indifferent. I don't have a I don't.
Yeah. Some of that was that it was there from other stuff.
I feel in a better headspace now that I've tuned in with you all. Well, I was doing it in 2 minutes. I wonder if that matters too. Of course it does. Vegas is awesome and awful today.
I hope it gets more awesome than
awful.
Yeah.
Proud and grateful for y'all showing up for yourself to share that with others. Blessed.
Yes.
But yeah, blessed to me is just, I don't know.
I like it. I mean, I don't come from the context of how it has
right. I completely forgot that was a context associated with that word, but
I definitely use it a lot. Like, you know, not saying sometimes I may say sarcastic, like, child, you need to go bless her. But then sometimes, you know,
okay. I see what you're saying. We use it for the reason that it should be used, but I mean, I don't mind. It's not like a word not to be used. I don't think words can not be used in any way. Hate is a word I use. I love that word. It exists. I love it. Why not?
Yeah.
Hate, dislike, can't stand, you know,
Yeah.
bitch, bye. These things are important to me.
I like blessed. Sometimes I like saying blessed.
Blessed, okay.
Blessed be.
Like beloved.
Beloved, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I like it. I like it. But yeah. Alrighty. Well, we're outie, guys. We're about to go see a movie and hang out because Darius been like antisocial with me
I have not.
all week. So he's making it up to me, and I just had to push out that since she was messing with Kel. You know, you didn't have to hurt him like that.
I didn't mess with them. Nigga, I ain't put the drugs in the system. That's the business.
Stop it. Stop telling the truth.
Nigga's a grown ass man.
Place
My lighting is not to par.
I just got to you guys. All right, y'all. Y'all have a fantastic evening, and we lost sunlight, so we'll talk.
Right? That's what I'm trying to get off it. Like, I feel like we're ruining our brand right now. Whatever. That's fine. That's all as well.
We'll see you soon. Be blessed.
I was thinking like stop it like remotely. That way we couldn't stop doing that. You know. Bye, you guys. Good night.